This is Amala Ekpanobi. This is, what is this? Leftist TikTokers are not okay. It looks like, I guess she's got a bunch of TikTokers that are, let's just say having a, shit fit, right? Oh, okay. Off
Misogyny
the
is on
bat.
the rise because women are beating men at their own game.
Everyone who voted for him is racist.
Well, guys, we are 6 months
okay.
into 2025, and I figured
Yeah,
no better time than now to go and check in
I
on some of
guess
our
I'm
TikTok
racist,
lefties
'cause
and
I
see how they're
voted
doing.
for
Let's react to woke TikToks.
Yeah, you better.
I guess I can assume that she was talking about Trump, right?
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we have lined up a little fun set of woke TikToks to react to, and we're gonna get straight into it. Do you feel like racism and misogyny is on the rise? If you
I
answered
think so,
yes,
I guess.
here's why.
Just your friendly reminder that racism is on the rise because people of color, particularly black people, are beating white people at their own game. Misogyny is on the rise because women are beating men at their own game. There's an attack on neurodivergent individuals because they're the ones calling out all of the things that are not right in this world. And there's an attack on transgender individuals because they're proving the gender binary is in fact a societal construct.
I don't even know where to begin with that one. I gotta be honest with you. Are black people beating white people at their own game? And if so, what is that game? I'm trying to figure out exactly what that means. And what exactly can you point to statistically or that's been researched or studied that proves that either of these groups is beating the other at their own game? I guess we can look at women and say that women are beginning to out-earn men. They're beginning to get educated far beyond where young men are getting educated these days. But is misogyny against women on the rise? And if so, where? And who's out here attacking neurodivergent people? Because I just gotta talk. Y'all out there going after those people with a touch of the tism for what? Because they're pointing out everything that's wrong with society? I'm not sure. I think we have this sort of, I don't know, fatalist view that the world is so much worse than it actually is, or maybe a cynical view that the world is so much worse than it is. I don't think racism, misogyny, or attacks on neurodivergent people are on the rise whatsoever. If anything, as a society, we have made great progress. I mean, leaps and bounds of progress on all of those fronts. It is no better time in all of history to be a woman, to be black, or to be neurodivergent, at least as far as the West is concerned. So I don't know what you're talking about. Next, this one is about fleeing the United
people
States,
are basically a protected
when
class.
a bunch of illegal immigrants are fighting to be here.
Hi, I'm Christine. My wife and I just fled the U.S. for New Zealand.
You
and
could probably
let me tell you
put
how
women up there too.
We just did. We just got plane tickets and visitor's visa. And just
How did I flee the United States? You know, like flee is such, I don't know, a visceral word. When you think of somebody fleeing, you think of somebody just like trudging and running terrified to get rid of a land. She's like, how did I flee the United States? I just did it. I bought a plane ticket. So you mean you traveled?
Yeah,
you
so
bought
you
a plane ticket to New Zealand and you went there. You didn't flee anything.
left. No, we were smart about it.
You weren't under any threat.
Working on for the last
right.
year and a half.
You mean a travel itinerary?
you just bought a ticket and there you were.
For the visa, and we applied for the visa 6 months ago. It just so happens that we aren't going to hear back for another few months probably, and it's not a guarantee that we're going to get it.
So again, you're not fleeing. I feel like when I think of the word flee, unless I'm thinking of it improperly, like having a very short, runway for getting out of a place is what I consider fleeing. You're like, we're just going to wait 6 months. We've budgeted out. I'm going to go to Starbucks, in a few hours after making this video. It's okay. You're not fleeing the United States. You have quite the large runway for, I guess, getting out of here and moving to New Zealand. And you have quite the amount of resources to do exactly that.
We just decided that it was a safer gamble to move anyways than to stay in the US anymore.
Okay.
So
wow.
We made a plan A.
Good for you.
And then we made a whole bunch of backup plans. And
that means less constituency
right
for the Democrats to be retarded.
Worst case scenario, we can stay probably about 9 months in New Zealand. If we don't get approved and there's no chance whatsoever, like we're firmly disqualified from staying here, we go visit Australia for 9 months.
It's so hilarious because she's describing the process of what it's like for a country to have an immigration system. To have very strict laws regarding who is able to come into their country and who is able to stay there. And you don't hear her freaking out because she might only have 9 months in New Zealand. She's definitely not going to stay in that country past whatever is approved on her visa, because guess what's going to happen? She is going to be picked up and thrown out of the country. And we're all okay with that when it comes to the American who's fleeing to New Zealand. But as soon as somebody tries to come here and overstay, their stay, it's our fault.
And work on our
it's
plan.
our fault
And if
because they
we
didn't
still
make
can't figure out a
the
plan, we go
necessary
visit
right. They
Japan
didn't take the
for, like,
necessary precautions to
rather
make sure to
do
facilitate that
than
stuff
stay in the U.S.
so that they wouldn't
any
get
longer.
fucking
Like, we don't feel safe
right,
in the U.S.
ejected.
And we also have enough confidence in like who we are as people and our skills and our marketability, and like we've done our homework on like.
Dude, okay.
Wait, what
Should
are
this
you-
not
what
be a
is she
slap in the
talking
face to anybody who has ever fled a country ever?
Yeah, what the
like,
fuck?
Is anybody listening to this? Anybody from Venezuela listening to this right now? Anybody
Yeah.
from Cuba who had to flee listening
yeah.
to this right now? Can
I
you
mean, you
imagine,
should
like,
just
a
take into
Palestinian
consideration
refugee listening
the
to
people,
this
the
American
white
talking about
Africaners that
fleeing
just came
America
over.
and talking about, you know, if we
Just
don't
talk-
get to
just talk
stay
to
through our
them.
visa in New
They tell you
Zealand,
what
maybe
the
we'll
fuck is
hop
up.
over to
You're
Japan.
like, yeah,
you
that
know,
shit
we have a
wasn't
lot
cool.
of marketability. You know, as we're fleeing this country, our marketability is really high. Oh my gosh. You know, sometimes I hear
Yeah, no, you
leftists talk
if
about
it
like
was
the white
Bi-
leftist problem.
yeah, when it was
I'm
Biden's
starting to get it.
We are most
yeah,
likely
when
to
it
get
was
visas.
Biden's
And
era,
just
oh yeah,
realistically
shit, man.
speaking, we will be able to figure something out in the next few years without having to go through all those steps. But like, we would still rather do that than stay in the U.S. and gamble with that.
Okay. And gambling with what? I'm like, this girl's life is probably, you know, very, very smooth compared to anybody's life in any other less developed country or nation here on Earth. And interestingly enough, she's fleeing the US to go to New Zealand, like another relatively, you know, Western land. You're going
Yeah,
to
New
Diet
Zealand.
America? I don't know. Guys, be so for real right now. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my other camera and react to the next one. You know how I feel.
I bet
about
if
that
I
one.
pulled
This
up
one
New
happens to be
Zealand right
about
now,
land
I
as
bet they
well
would have
and
some
immigration.
issues with
Let's
their
see if we
fucking
get
country.
some sort of mind-blowing point about why everybody should be able to be on whatever land they want to be on. Let's hear it.
I don't want to hear another white person say the word illegal for the rest of my goddamn life. We are living on stolen land.
I'm half white. Can I say illegal?
Our ancestors forcibly and violently seized this land from the indigenous peoples who were living here for generations before we ever showed up. We do not get to call them illegal.
Well, we're not calling.
I mean, that depends.
We don't own the planet. Nobody does. We are evolved monkeys with opposable thumbs who use them to write little monkey scribbles on a slice of tree, and we call it a birth certificate with our little monkey sounds.
Dude, you know, I love it when somebody just like pretends like they're the most genius individual in the world and they can just relegate all of human existence, civilization, history,
yeah,
laws,
I don't know how she wants
constitutions
society to
down
work.
we just monkeys who write words. No, like what you just described is consciousness. And I think that's a pretty vast
it's us being humans.
network
I
of
don't know.
ideas, possibilities, theories that should not be relegated to we just monkeys
Yeah,
who
it's
write
like,
words
oh my
on
god,
pieces
we
of
actually
paper.
know how to
All
write,
of it is made
read,
up. None of it is real.
create
And
documents.
it doesn't matter.
Shit.
And it's certainly not a valid reason to rip a terrified, screaming child away from his weeping mother. And I am tired of being made to feel like I'm crazy for being angry about this. Capitalism is just narcissism as an economic system. Imperialism is just
how did you
narcissism
get your
as a
stuff?
foreign policy.
How did you get your
if
stuff?
the lion
Look
can't
at
claim the
look how
safari for
privileged
himself
this person
and call
is.
the elephant illegal, then neither the can we?
Oh my gosh. This is just like screaming baseless platitudes for like a whole minute. And you know, she stopped the recording, posted it, went back to her For You page and like doom scrolled for another hour. But this is the genius. Like, you know, back in the day, we had philosophers sit and think about a singular idea for years of their life before writing down a single thought. We think we just monkeys who write words, and then we hop on TikTok and immortalize ourselves online with that message. And I gotta say, that last
I mean, we're
analogy
building
about,
nuclear
like, the
weapons.
lion and the elephants and how they
Isn't
don't
that
tell
cool?
each other, you know, whose land is where. Bet you they do. Have a random elephant like walk up and, you know, just waltz onto the land of a pack of lions and see how that is dealt with. Nature is a notoriously extremely violent thing to be a part of. And we are human beings, as she says, monkeys with opposable thumbs who write words, who are also part of that nature. In fact, we often treated each other like the animals on a safari do.
Correct.
And
I
attack
mean, we
each other,
still treat people like animals today, yeah.
fight over land and fight over our little piece of sliver, what we
Correct.
feel like, because
I mean,
that is our
we're
instinct
already
to
fighting
do
over.
exactly that. And a
I
lot
mean,
of
just
stuff
look at the
stops that from
Israel-Iran
happening.
conflict.
It's actually borders, laws, you know, people coming together to create nations with culture and agreed
Acting
upon
like animals,
rules.
man.
But no, I guess everybody can just walk on whatever land they want to be on and stay wherever they want and just live wherever they want. And
I
we
mean,
will see how
humans
that
are
goes.
an
We're
animal.
actually
We
watching
are
that
a
right now in
creature,
the West,
are we
and we're
not?
seeing
We
how that
are,
goes.
in a
And the answer
sense,
is
an
it doesn't go
animal.
well. it in fact does
in the
not go well.
abstract
But I
form,
guess we
right?
have to learn our lesson even harder now. So I guess we'll wait and see
we
what
are
happens,
in
or we
the
won't, because we
we're
actually have
on
somebody
the
who's willing to
fucking
take care of the illegal immigration issue.
right,
And it is an
the
issue. And this is not to be
animal
anti-immigrants. It is to say
ecosystem
you should come
hierarchy
into
chain,
this
right?
nation
We
through
are a
legal
predator in a
means and
sense.
assimilate and learn about the culture and learn about the history, and then go through that legal process in order to appreciate the nation that you have been allowed the opportunity to live in. And virtually every other nation ever has similar laws, in fact, even stricter ones. And we seem to understand that in other ways, but we don't understand that on our own land, because we have like a suicidal empathy about us. So yeah,
Correct.
okay. This next one's
Well,
about
I mean,
racism, and
yeah,
this one
we
gets
have that
feisty, just like the
suicidal
last one.
empathy.
Savannah, why do
We
you think
have
everything
that
about race? Like, why are you always talking about-
generational guilt for some fucking reason. I don't know why. We have to somehow atone for the sins of our ancestors, even though that was long ago. We still have to atone for it. I don't know how. We still have to atone by giving reparations somehow. I don't know. Even though somehow we're somehow a part of that generation that caused it. I don't know.
About race. Like, not everything is about
People
race.
are
Everything
wild.
is about race.
Whoa, whoa.
It is.
Whoa.
Everything is.
Wow.
Everything
single
is
part of
about
our
race. I mean, it doesn't have to be,
society
but people
traces
want to make
back
it to be.
racism.
Yes.
Everything. The damn ice cream truck song
Well,
is
I mean-
fucking racist. The reason we
Wait,
have
what?
credit scores and student loans is because they did not want black people to live next to them and go to school.
You really, this is your crash course in critical race theory before we finish out this video.
Yeah,
if you
I was all
pick
like,
up
what?
any sort of critical race,
I thought we
journal, writing,
broke
whatever, just have somebody
segregation
scream
in
everything
schools
is
a
racist
long
above it,
time
and you
ago,
basically
right?
read it. This is Gene Stefancic.
School board
this is Richard
versus
Delgado.
education.
She pretty much summed it up.
right?
Everything is
School Board of
encapsulated in
Education
the fact
versus
that they
the
wanted
United
black
States
people
and
to
everything,
fail.
yeah.
Our society could be so much more progressive than it is now.
We even had
Spent 400 years trying to
soldiers
keep minorities down.
have to
that we have
facilitate
not progressed in
the
technology, in society,
the
in
transition
anything. This country has
because
spent so much time making sure that
a lot of
we
people were
don't
being
surpass
hateful.
white people. It's willing to cut its leg off during the sack race over and over and over and over again, and that's why we're in the predicament that we're in now.
Dude, I love the analogies in these.
Gotta get the hose again, yeah.
They're never quite perfect.
It's not about anything else but the fact that they do not want minorities to thrive. That is what it's been about.
What
since
is she
day
like?
one.
She
when
just
they
wants
got
everyone to
this
hate each other.
land.
My God,
They
what a
took it
hateful
away from
human
people who
being.
were already here and didn't stop
What a
doing it.
miserable
So I understand
fucking
that sometimes
bitch.
we want to ha ha he he and live life and forget, but I'm always going to bring it up. If you don't want to hear it, don't talk to me. But I'm always going to talk about racism because it makes me fucking angry.
She's that friend that's too woke.
Why would you do that? Why would you bring up race knowing that it's going to make you angry? Who does that? I mean, you can do it in a healthy manner, but if you're just gonna fucking blow a gasket every time, what's the point?
Confirmed.
Don't get to spend 400 plus years mistreating people based off of their skin tone alone.
Wait, 400 years? I thought we were past that. We're in the present. We're not in the past.
Ripples in generations. You haven't even began to try to undo it, but you want to get.
It's the same way with the Iranian situation, right? We tried to regime change them so many. Right, we tried to regime change a lot of places, and it didn't go too well, right? And now people want to be like, oh yeah, let's still continue to do this. It's like, dude, what the fuck? I don't know about that, man. We didn't do too well.
Mad at me because every time I talk about racism, you get annoyed.
You haven't even begun to try to undo it, says the modern day black woman with her materialist.
Yeah, she's got a lot of
sitting
shit
in a
on
car.
her. She got a lot of
likely has a
jewelry.
job
I mean,
and
she
a
looks
social security
pretty
number
privileged.
and is like paying taxes and is a citizen who's protected by the law like every other
Correct.
citizen around her.
Correct.
We haven't even begun to try to undo
I
racism
know.
in this country. All right.
Super
All right.
racism.
It's
yeah.
just crazy to hear these
Super
people like
racism.
they think they're the modern day say philosophers.
I mean,
They
at this
think they're
point, she
spitting
can be
game
like
right
Black
now.
Power,
Hi.
right?
Because every time I bring up
I
something,
mean, just
oh, it's because
go
this,
back
it's
to
because of
Black
it's because of
Panther days,
racism.
yeah.
You get mad. Shut
You guys want to spout that shit again?
Okay, you get
I mean, you
mad,
guys
followed
kind of are
by
with the
shut
Black BLM
Guys,
movement.
not everything is about you all the time. Not everything is about your skin color all the time. Now, granted, did this country and many other countries have a history of deeply rooted racism, oppression, discrimination?
yeah,
Absolutely. And
sure.
does that racism and discrimination and oppression have somewhat of a ripple effect beyond the historical point that it takes place? Absolutely. But is everything about racism all the time? No. You are simply
mean,
the friend who
obviously
is
no,
too woke.
correct.
The operative word being
But
too.
yeah, there's
You're
still
doing too
people
much.
who
You're
are
doing too
kind of
much. You need to really calm
fucked in the head
down.
today,
And if you
right?
feel the need to make everything about race, see
it's
what life
gonna
is like
happen.
the day that
People
you
are gonna
make it
have
practice,
some
even if you don't
fucking
believe it.
skewed
Fake your way
viewpoints, yes.
into making not everything about race. In fact, try to go a whole 24 hours with making 0 things about race and see how you feel on the other end.
That's why I tried
maybe
not to
tonight, but I
make
think you're gonna
anything
feel better.
about. Yeah, that's why I tried to not make anything about race. Someone's fucking class and someone's fucking amount of wealth in a sense. Try not to do that shit. I mean, every once in a while I'll do it just to, crack some fun at people, but yeah.
You're going to feel better. And I think
It
you're
is
going to be
what
able to
it
see
is.
the world from a perspective outside of making everything racial. And what she's just summed up is critical race theory to its core, in its very essence, is to look at every single facet
We
of our
hate
society
white
and to make it
people.
about race and to make it
White
about your skin
people
color.
are the devil.
And mind you, you may
White
think that
people
other people
must
are doing
hate
that, or that's
themselves
the
because they
entire
caused
history of the
this
United States of America
themselves.
or of the Western world, but it is not. Is it a facet of the history of the West? Certainly, but you're doing yourself a disservice.
I
and the
mean, we
world around
moved
you a
past
disservice
it
to
because
constantly
we
make everything about race. Because the
right,
reason we've progressed,
we broke a lot of laws. We broke a lot of laws that broke down the barriers, right? Well, it's like, yeah, we fixed that situation. Well, yeah, we fixed it. We remedied the situation, right? To the right, a lot. But no, people still want to keep bringing it up. I don't know why. Everything's fixed, but they still got to keep bringing it up. You know who it is? It's like those Al Sharpton motherfuckers. Literally. It's like these people are talking to Al, or like listening to Al Sharpton, like Jasmine Crockett. Like, oh, fucking hell. Oh boy. So yeah, until those guys are like stop spouting that weird fucking bullshit, yeah, this is gonna keep happening.
so much is that a lot of us have stopped doing that. But best of luck to you. I imagine you're going to feel more sorrow and hatred than anybody else who you're accusing of being racist or contributing to a racist society. And that's really the sad part about it. We've got one more, guys. Let's get to it.
People don't think they're racist because white people don't understand racism fundamentally. White people think that to be racist, you have to be out hate criming. You have to explicitly be saying you don't
What the fuck is she talking
XYZ
about?
minority group.
Hate criming is a verb. Love that.
Be saying you think white
Also,
people
hate
are
crime
better.
is
And this
a
level of binary
legal
thinking is extremely comfortable for white
that's
people.
a legal
because most white
definition
people
and a
aren't out hate criming. Most racist people
prosecutorial
aren't out
charge on
know.
someone.
Most white people are not out there hate criming.
hate criming or explicitly
Right,
saying
that's the
hate
extent of a
minority
charge.
groups.
You have to
It's a little bit
prosecute
more
someone with
subtle
that. So
for
it's
most
like,
racist people. Obviously,
that's
there
court
are
of
some
law stuff,
people
eh?
who do say that.
Can't be
but
saying
that is
that
the
shit.
exception.
You're not a
the
lawyer.
rule. This goes for both sides of the aisle. Like during the election, people
I'm
kept
not
saying,
even a lawyer,
not
and
everyone
I
who
know
voted for him
that
is
shit.
racist, but all the racist people did vote for him. Completely incorrect. Reverse that. Everyone who voted for him is racist.
Oh,
You
okay.
cannot
Oh,
vote for
yeah.
that
Oh,
without
yeah,
being
this
racist.
chick. Yeah, I'm
However,
racist, I
not
guess,
all
because I
racist
voted for
people
Trump.
voted for him. And that is harmful to say because that
I got the red
perpetuates-
hat.
White
I guess
people
I'm
really
racist
think
too because I
in
got the
a
red hat.
binary, followed up by yes, everybody who voted for this individual is racist.
this narrative of like, or this trope of,
Yay.
I have a black friend, I can't be racist.
I enjoy
voted for Kamala Harris.
racists.
I can't be racist.
Okay,
I
I
vote
gotta.
for the people
I'm
who
so
support
sorry.
the minorities.
I gotta
I'm
stop.
obviously not racist, and I don't need to do any further work to prove that.
Well, she does make one semi-good point. You can vote for either candidate and be capable of being racist. In fact, I think far more people have racist thoughts than we're willing to admit because we've made it this sort of boo, scary word. You're a racist. You know, we all have thoughts that circulate in and out of our minds in any given day. Some of them intrusive. Some
I mean,
of them real
you know,
thoughts that
you know,
have to
people do
with
Freudian
race and
slips.
racial judgments
I
that
mean, you
we
know,
make. And
people.
we should be able to
I
talk.
mean, we have a lot of diction. We have a lot of diction of racial slurs. I mean, and soft soft language slurs too, right? So it's like I don't know what you want. I mean, shit happens, man.
Talk about that without this being some huge,
I
big,
mean, look,
spooky word that
when scientists built fire, they didn't expect people to use fire to kill people, right? All right. So it's like, I mean, shit happens, right?
we're throwing out at people. Now, interestingly enough, her entire argument seems to have this underlying definition of racism, which a lot of leftists carry with them.
I
Is that in
shouldn't say
order to be
scientists. I
racist, you
should
have
say
to
the
have some sort
cavemen.
of societal power, or you have
The
to be at the top
cavemen
of
and
some sort of
cavewomen
societal
that made
hierarchy,
fire.
meaning that white people sit at the top
They
and they
didn't.
can
They
be
didn't
racist
expect it to
downwards.
kill
And
people.
because
Okay?
black people and other minorities
Or
sit on the
for
lower
people
rungs
to
of the
turn it
hierarchy,
on
they
each
cannot
other,
be
right?
racist upwardly towards white people. I'd argue everybody's capable of being racist, and that's lost in this. I'd also argue that not every single person
Well,
who
I mean,
voted
I
for
guess
Donald
if
Trump
you're
is racist.
well,
Okay,
if
I'm
you're
so
an animal
tired
in
of
the animal
hearing it.
kingdom,
At least she
yes,
gave a little bit
it's
of credence to the idea
kill or
that
be
people can vote
killed.
for
Yeah.
Kamala Harris and also be racist, but she did it in this sort of white ally. I voted for Obama twice
I
in a row. You
voted
know how
for.
sort of that sort of
Well, I
Jordan
mean, to be
Peele
fair,
get
I
out,
did.
you know,
If I
form
would,
of
if I
racism.
could vote for Obama, if I could vote, I would probably would have voted for Obama twice, because you had two people who didn't, right, McCain and Romney. They were both politically, they were both pretty bad. During those times, I would say they were probably both bad, and that's why Obama pulled ahead.
Over it, guys. Okay, just pull up that
I
Morgan
was a
Freeman
kid
clip
at
that
that time,
circulates
so
because
it's
he's like
like,
one
I
black
didn't.
person ever
I
who says,
wasn't
"Can
a
we stop
voter.
focusing on race and talking about it all the time and just
How are we going to get
I
rid
was
of
a teen.
racism until... Stop talking about it.
inserted here?" I'm done. I'm done making the point.
Stop
Not
talking
everybody
about it. Yeah,
is
I mean,
racist, but a
true.
whole lot more people are capable of racism and have racist thoughts than we're willing to admit. And that's about that.
I mean,
You
I
know,
call
we
myself
should
a
just be able
cracker
to openly have
sometimes.
these discussions and to let these ideas have sunlight
You know.
so that we can figure out what's good and what's bad.
I call
Okay,
myself
guys?
a gook
Anyways,
sometimes.
I'm done with this.
Yeah, I gotta stop.
I can't do any more TikToks today, so if you were expecting more than that, I'm sorry. Could you even get this far? If you got this far into the video, drop a heart in the comments down below. I need some love.
How about
after responding to
you're a
these
goddamn
TikToks.
tunnel crawler?
And guys, leave your thoughts in the comments down below as well. As always, if you disagree with anything I said in this video, do get out, but do so respectfully. I encourage healthy debate on this channel. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is all the time.
All right, there you have
Guys,
it.
thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.
I'm Ekpanobi. There you have it. The leftist TikToks are not okay. Yeah, there's just there. If you notice, there are like a bunch of Karens. They're practically Karens, dude. Oh boy. They make you want to get this, and it's just All right. Anyways, there you have it. Give her a like, subscribe. That was a great video. Thanks for watching. Give a like, subscribe to the video. Add some comments if you like. Much appreciated. Peace out.